Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team, and that's right, I'm back. Finally back. Still not 100% yet. If you don't know, about a week ago, I started feeling really ill, really under the weather. And as the days progressed, I thought it was maybe just a little cold, something like that. So I took a few days off, and then I posted a video telling you guys then that I was back. And then after that, I just went downhill. And so I took another 3 or 4 days off, dealing with probably one of the worst flus that I've ever had in my life. Now, I have to say, you guys out there, if you haven't experienced the flu this year, be careful. Make sure it stays that way. Wash your hands after everything you do, everywhere you go, in fact. Because I have to say, I've never felt as sick as I have in the last week, and I'm still not right. If you've been following the news, there is what they're calling a pandemic, a flu pandemic sweeping across the world, especially in the United States right now. But I've been getting emails and messages from people from all over, from children to adults, people who are extremely healthy, within a matter of days, going downhill, going to the hospital. Hospital can't do anything for them. And I just don't understand what's going on. And likewise, I've been getting a ton of messages from people saying that, yeah, they have been battling the flu or recently got over it, then getting better, thinking that they were better, only to get pneumonia just days later. And, yeah, I mean, today I'm still not 100%. It seems as if as all of the other symptoms that I had are pretty much gone, I'm still left with this just overall bad feeling, like I'm just tired, sort of a depressed feeling, I have to say, just irritable. And yeah, I'm just waiting for this thing to finally leave my system. Something is going on, guys. You know, I've been getting a lot of emails talking about the flu vaccine and how many people are against it. Many people saying that they never had the flu in their lives until after they got the flu vaccine. And obviously, for years now, there's been a massive discussion as to whether vaccines are harmful or whether they are a necessity in fighting off these viruses. This particular flu that's going around is said to be a sort of a super strain, I guess, that is impervious to flu shots or any other sort of shots that would otherwise make you feel better. And while the media, I've been seeing, for the most part, has been trying to downplay the severity of this flu, it almost seems like, from what I've been hearing, that they're trying to avoid causing a panic, because this thing is bad, and it's really caused me to question whether I should get any more flu vaccines in the future. I'm not sure exactly how that works. There was, if you guys remember last January, last January, there was a guy by the name of Dr. Needs, who was the medical director and the chief operating officer of the Cleveland Clinic Wellness Institute, who was fired due to an article that he wrote questioning the flu vaccine. And this was after the doctor himself became sick after receiving a flu shot, which caused him then to examine more closely the ingredients included in the influenza vaccine. And, yeah. So basically, I won't harp too much longer on this, but anyway, you guys get the gist. Be careful. I know I'm taking time to talk about this, but I just don't want any of you guys to feel like I have been feeling over this past week, or worse. Thankfully, I haven't ended up in the hospital yet. I'm hoping I don't get pneumonia or anything like that, but be careful, be safe. And you guys tell me down below what you think about vaccines. Are you for or against? You know, I'd sure like to learn more about it. So with that, let's get into some of the news that's been happening over the past week. Now, I realize you may have seen some of these on other channels or whatnot, but I want to catch up and touch on it. So first, in UFO sighting news, a lot of UFO sightings, we have a new clip that's making waves across the online community, and that was a strange set of lights that appeared in the skies above Katerina, Texas. So check this out.
Te dije. A la verga, UFOs.
All right, so this was posted to Facebook by Gary Trevino. He said, quote, "Can someone explain what the heck did we just see here at the Gates Ranch in Catarina, Texas?" It happened around 8:45 p.m. on the 24th. So this is very, very intriguing. And when I first saw this, I said, I've seen this before. And we've posted videos in the past of these lights that will appear in the sky, and they do this sort of leapfrog jump where the light will appear, it'll then disappear, and then reappear, a couple feet or meters ahead of itself, then disappear again, and then do it over and over, sort of like the game Leapfrog, as if it's leaping over itself. Now, many have also said that this is indicative of something that's spinning, slowly spinning, and that the light is just rotating around, and that's why we're kind of seeing it appear then disappear. I don't know, because towards the end of this footage that you guys are seeing, we have more lights that appear, including one that looks to sort of shoot off a tail behind it. We have other lights appearing. I just don't know. It's really strange. I've never seen flares act like this. Certainly not Chinese lanterns. So, I think this is definitely a legit unidentified object. We don't know what it is. These lights are acting way too strange. Someone mentioned that it could be skydivers, but it was also mentioned that these things are way too close to the ground to be skydivers or flares or anything like that. I mean, usually military flares, they're dropped, they just sit in the sky and then they burn out. These things are moving around, disappearing, reappearing, so really interesting footage. Let me know what you guys think. I'll put the link to this down below. And in other news, we have a new photograph that was recently posted to Australian social media as well as mainstream media in Australia of what is being called there a UFO sighting of this bizarre light caught shooting across North Queensland, captured by a photographer. Now, this was taken from Cape Hillsborough on the beach by a woman who goes by the name Betty Seeney. She saw this massive light slowly moving across the sky. She said that it looked just like a shooting star to start, but then it just got longer and longer, bigger and brighter, and she said to her husband, quote, "This is no shooting star." She said that, quote, "I screamed out, 'Look at this,' and they all turned around and couldn't believe it." She said it was just beautiful. It was a real green teal color, and it just disappeared into the ocean. My husband could hear it hissing and fizzling as it came down. She says, quote, "I take some nighttime photos, but I've never seen anything like that." So, immediately when I saw this, I said it almost looks like a meteor. We've been seeing and hearing about a lot of meteors coming down. Well, the mainstream media says they're meteors, but if you've watched our past couple of videos, we've been getting rocked by these so-called meteors, or basically just objects burning up into our skies coming from space. We've had these loud mystery booms, houses being shook, massive bright flashes in the sky happening all over the world. Add to this all of the secret satellite launches that have been going up almost at the exact same frequency as we're seeing these objects burning up in our skies. And, here we have another one, this time over Australia. Obviously, it was moving slow enough where the source could get her camera and take a 20-second exposure, which kind of makes me wonder whether this was a meteor at all. It obviously looks like something that's entered our atmosphere. And so, very interesting photo. So, kudos to her, and I'll put the link to this down in the video description. You guys check it out. Now, in other news, while we're on the topic of all of these meteors that are happening, the most recent, you'll remember, occurred over Michigan. Well, there was one over Indiana, and then before that, there was a massive one over Michigan that was said to have even caused a fire when it landed, set a garage and a truck on fire. And then there were these bright red, almost look like laser beams seen coming down from the sky afterwards. And I recently got an email from a fellow viewer in Michigan who said that everyone in his town saw that massive flash of light that happened over Michigan. And according to him, something else happened just as this massive flash occurred. He said that he experienced something, quote, confusing and almost horrifying after his phone started making these funny radio noises that he said hurt his ears. And it was this almost loud static that almost sounded like voices, but he couldn't make out what they were saying until it started saying what sounded like coordinates of some sort. He said that it didn't sound like English, but I do know that they were saying numbers, and I wrote them down as fast as possible. And so I started going online and typing in these numbers in anything I could to try to pull up something that was maybe a transmission of something, a flight number. And that was until he went to Google Maps and put in the numbers, which turned out to be an actual coordinate on planet Earth. And when he typed it in, he said, all I saw was this big black mass. There was nothing on the screen. But as he zoomed out, which I am here, I went to the exact coordinates that he did, he saw this, a black patch that's basically been edited out of the Earth from the satellite imagery, as if we're not supposed to see what's under it, here in the middle of the ocean near the North Pole. Now, I have the coordinates here, and I'll put them down below. And as you're seeing here, this is on Google Maps. You can put these in yourselves. The viewer who emailed me claims that during this flash of light of this unknown object over Michigan, his phone began outputting this loud, staticky noise, followed by a voice that began repeating numbers. And I have to say, if those numbers truly did link to this specific coordinate on Earth, that just so happens to be the only spot in this area of ocean here just above Russia, the only spot that happens to be blacked out nonetheless, well, that is spooky. The viewer swears up and down that this did indeed happen, and he just sent the coordinates. He says, I don't know what else to say, take it or leave it, but it was strange, it happened, other people witnessed it. And so I'm here to say, guys, anyone out there from Michigan, during this time, experience static or any strange numbers emanating from their phones, obviously send me an email, and we will continue to follow these strange events that are happening as of late. So many of these flashes of light, rumblings, classified satellites being shot up one after the other by all of these different superpowers. Again, I'll say it, I think something big's on the horizon we don't know about. So with that, I want to thank all of you guys for stopping by today. Again, I appreciate you being patient with me. I am officially back, so do stay tuned. More videos are on the way. And as we end today's video, I would like to play for you guys a viewer-submitted cover of our outro song created via electric guitar. So big thanks to Epic Andy for sending this over. You guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you all back in just a bit.